Look, virtually everybody in business and marketing knows the new Coke story, but it's incredible that virtually everybody gets this completely wrong. So in 1985, Coke changed the formula of their famous drink. They changed the taste, and it was a complete disaster. They literally had to reverse the decision just a few months later, and everybody thought and still thinks that it's because they were just really arrogant and they just thought that they could do anything, and they changed the drink without really asking anybody. Actually, nothing could be further from the truth. So what the company actually did was more or less the complete opposite. They carried out the biggest consumer research project that had ever been conducted at the time. And we are talking blind taste testing for 190,000 participants, 190,000. And in those blind taste tests, the results were very clear and conclusive. The new tasting Coke beat the old Coke, and it also beat Pepsi in those blind tasting tests. They actually had to hire a team of external psychologists to listen to calls from their customers, listen to complaints, interview the customers. And what they found out was incredible. It wasn't the taste that was the problem. In most cases, the customers actually said that they preferred the new taste. The problem that the psychologists identified is that essentially customers were grieving. So what were these customers actually grieving? Well, the answer is everything that's attached to the drink that has nothing to do with the actual liquid itself. So things like childhood memories, national identity, a fixed point in their lives that was linked to the drink that they were really, really fond of and didn't want to lose. So they actually got letters from customers, and customers actually said on phone calls that they felt that something really important and significant had been taken away from America by Coca-Cola changing the formula, changing the taste. So it was really that dramatic. So the problem wasn't that the research was wrong. The problem, of course, was that Coca-Cola were asking completely the wrong question. And, they were focused on the taste, where in fact what they were missing was over 100 years of the history and the sort of augmented associations that people had with the brand. And the problem is that that can't be measured. So they only knew that taking that away from people was going to be an absolute disaster once they'd actually done it. This is where you need to be really, really careful when you're using data and researching, that you're not asking completely the wrong question yourself. So look, I'm a massive advocate for data and analytics. I love it. I think it's really, really important and useful to most businesses. But what's really interesting from this example that we can all learn is, go into your main dashboard now, if you have one that shows the key metrics that you measure, and ask yourself this question: if those key metrics that you track were to stay just as good, the same, or improve, is there something going on kind of silently behind the scenes in your business that actually could be slowly kind of destroying your business, that those key metrics don't actually measure? Because that's kind of what happened in the Coca-Cola example.